Alright, we are going to introduce a new project today, and this is called Crazy Creatures. I've picked three animals. I've picked a fish, an owl, and a walrus. I should say a betta fish. What I want to do in this project is to combine parts of all three of these animals to create one unique crazy animal. Now, for this assignment, you need to create two crazy creatures. Each crazy creature needs to have one, two, three animals combined with it. If you get more than three, it gets confusing and hard to tell. If you get less than three, it's not as interesting. So remember, two crazy creatures and three animals for each creature. Now, it's important to note in this project that you also need to have a background, an environment in which this creature exists. And it's really important that you do just as good a job drawing your environment as you do your crazy creatures, so they make sense together, so there's a unity in there, something that ties them all together. So you don't want a really realistic looking crazy creature and then you drew some second grade lollipop trees or some shark teeth mountains. That just doesn't fit. And our goal here is to, whatever part of these three animals we decide to draw, that we do it as accurately as possible. I cannot emphasize that enough. Now, the first creature I want to start with is my betta fish. I kind of like this head and this little bit of a fin here. So I'm going to move my walrus and my owl off to the side. And I'm going to put my betta fish right about here. Now, I use the same drawing techniques and rules that I give to everyone. So I want to hold the pencil in the middle. I want to use some short, sketchy lines. And I want to stare at the betta fish and glance every so often at my paper to make sure things are right. Now I'm going to slide these a little closer together and I'm going to zoom in so you can get a better look. All right, that's pretty good right there. We'll focus, so we've got that. All right, now I'm going to start right here on the betta fish. So I'm going to come down like so, holding the pencil in the middle. I'm going to slide the paper over so you can see it a little better. I can still see the better part of my betta fish. I'm about where the eye is. I'm going to start with the outside shape of the animal, gently touching the paper with my pencil. I don't want a real solid dark line. I am going to come up and make a little bit of the scale here. Just a little bit. We'll go up there. Now it's hard to see, so I'm going to go back in and darken this so you can see it. He looks a little bit tougher than the betta fish on the paper. That's all right. We're going to come down, and I'm just kind of basically tracing over the line that I already created very lightly. Now, you don't have to do that, but for me, it has to be that way because I want it to show up on the camera. Now the eye, if I look at the distance between the chin of the betta fish and where the eye is, that starts right about here. Now I come around. Now look at this. There's almost no space between the eye and the top of the head. So we're just going to get as close as we can, making short, sketchy lines, and there's our eye. All right, now we're going to come down and I'm going to finish the head. I know I said you always start with the outside edge, but I wanted to get that eye in there a little bit. Now I want to look at the distance between this part of the fin right here and the back of this fin. So I'm going to come up a little bit here, and that looks pretty good right there. Now, going to also add this fin right here. And it goes way up, and I'm going to add some more betta fish at the top here. Way up, pretty close to the top edge. Look at the distance between here and here. And we want to say, did we get that right? And I think we did. We're going to flare this back, bring it around, hook it back up right here, and that looks like a pretty good fin. Now I want to get this in, this kind of bearded fin look. And then we're going to stop the video because we don't want to do too much and have it not save for us. Now again, remember, I'm just working on the outside details. People make huge mistakes in drawing because they try to draw an eye first or a mouth. It's not what we want to do. How are you supposed to figure out what you got and whether it's the right proportion or ratio if you don't start with your outside shape? Now I'm kind of still staring at that photocopy, bringing this down, coming back up, a little bit at a time, coming in here. All drawing is seeing and fractions, figuring out the distance between things, how to break an image apart, where's the middle, where's 3/4, where's a third. That's a pretty good drawing right there. I'll move my camera down. I'm sorry, I didn't realize that I had drawn off the paper for you. But there, you get a good look at what it is we drew when we got our head of our betta fish in. Now, we haven't put any shading in, but that's okay. We don't need that yet. And I'm going to end this video segment, and we can go on to the next one here in a minute.